Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome. And welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, oh, go away. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling for March 9th, 2021. Now, overall, man, it was a good show. It was a good, very good show. They setting us up for sacrifice. Yeah, sacrifice, setting us up for sacrifice. And, we also got some huge news. Also got some huge news on this show. And I'm going to get to that later. And it's someone from AEW. But I'm going to get into that when we get through the show. But yeah, other than that, man, it was a good show. We had some great matches on this show. It wasn't the best show, but it was a good show. And so yeah, if you so yeah. So yeah, this is the Impact Wrestling review on the Ryan Awesome Show for March 9th, 2021. And if you haven't done this already, hit the thumbs up, man. What are you waiting for? Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be notified. So you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out. So make sure you click on that bell. Hit the subscribe button first and then click on that bell so you don't miss out. Because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. You turn on that bell. And so now, to start off the show, we had a match. And it was from the women. And so it was Tasha Steelz, who is one half of the Impact Knockouts Women's Champion. Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champion. That's Tasha Steelz with Kiera Hogan, who is the other half of the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champion, Kiera Hogan, versus Jazz with Jordynne Grace in her corner. And so with this match, I didn't understand why this match even happened. Like they have a tag team match on Saturday, and I don't know why one member of each team going against each other if they have a match on Saturday, a tag team match on Saturday. So I don't know why they gave it away. It should have easily just took this match off the show, and it's just you're just giving the match away. So why give the match tonight instead of waiting on Saturday? And so yeah, it was a good match and everything, but would have never booked this match on the show. And so yeah, first off we had Jazz. She used her strength against Steelz, and then so at that point they were both trying to outmaneuver each other. And we had a corner European uppercut to Jazz. And then Tasha Steelz, she followed that up with a jumping net breaker to Jazz. And so Jazz, she kicked out of that. And then we had a Falcon Arrow to Jazz, and she kicked out of that. And so Jazz, she tried to fight back by giving jabs to Steelz. And then she followed that up with a Samoan drop. And so Steelz hit a cold breaker on Jazz. And then we had a sit-out power slam to Tasha Steelz. And then Tasha Steelz, she kicked out of it. And then Kiera Hogan, she tried to get involved in the match. She stood on the ring apron. And so Jordynne Grace, who was also ringside, she had went over to Kiera Hogan and just yanked her off the ring apron and just sent her to the ground. And then, Steelz, she tried to fight back, but it's not working. And then Jazz, she locked in her STF submission move to Tasha Steelz to win the match. So Tasha Steelz, she taps out. So that means Jazz wins. She wins the match. And, good match, but I say this time and time and again. Champions should never lose. Should never lose. I don't care if it's a non-title match. Champions should always win. They should never lose in no situation. The only time a champion should lose if they're in a championship match and they're about to lose the title. That's the only time a champion should lose is in a championship match. But this was not a championship match. So I don't understand. Just like that's why I said this match should not happen. This match should have never happened on this show tonight. Because nobody can lose. Nobody can lose. Jazz and Jordynne Grace, they're number one contenders for the tag titles. And Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan are the tag team champions. So nobody should lose. And so yeah, man. Yeah, that was it with the match. Good match, but never would have booked this match. And so yeah, right after this, we had a backstage interview, and it was Gia. I think that was her name, Gia, the interviewer name. Finally got her name, Gia. And so yeah, she interviews ODB, who is the challenger for the Impact Knockouts Women's Champion or the Impact Knockouts Championship. And so yeah, this is what happened.
Yeah, what's up, Bam? Yeah, see my girl Jazz out there? Now that's a legend. And that is absolutely reason to celebrate. But will it be you celebrating this weekend at Sacrifice after your Knockouts title match against Deonna Purrazzo? Oh, hell yeah. The ODB's meet and greet's gonna be open all night long, baby. I'm one of the original Knockouts, four-time knocked up champ. And
Knocked
I
up
think
champ.
it's about time to be five-time knocked up champ. I'm gonna smack some respect into that little bitch. Hey, what's up, Karen? Where's your little cronies at?
My name's Susan. You ripped my arm sleeves off in the last match we had. I want a one-on-one with you.
Well, hell, I'm not booked up Saturday, but how about tonight? Let's go, one-on-one.
Oh yeah. And guess what? What? I'm coming alone. I don't need anybody out there with me. Trust me. I'm Susan.
Want some?
I'm at work.
Yeah, me too. Boom!
And that was it. That was it from ODB and what she had to say. I still don't know why ODB getting a championship match when she done nothing. And you know, ODB is not winning. She is not beating Deonna Purrazzo for that championship. She's not. And so yeah, I'm just not a fan of ODB. I'm just not. And so yeah, she's just to me she's just cringe. She's just cringed at me. The way that she comes off and everything, she's just cringe. So yeah, that was it with that. And so right after this, we had a backstage segment, and it was with Trey Miguel, and this is what happened.
Sam, dude, what's going on? I haven't seen or heard from you since Sammy was at the school. Are you okay?
Yeah,
Sam.
I'm fine.
You're fine?
Yeah. Sammy just talked to me. He said he sees something special in me. You know, Sammy's a rough guy, but he's not as bad as everybody thinks he is.
Dude, everything that comes out of Sammy's mouth is a complete, utter lie. Trust me when I tell you that you don't know Sammy the way that I know Sammy. He's lying to you.
That's funny. He said that you would say that. He also said that if I came here tonight and challenged you to a match, you'd be too much of a coward to accept it.
Sam, I'm not fighting you, okay? Plain and simple. I'm not fighting you.
Sammy was right all along. You don't have the passion.
Ooh, that word again.
You know what? You want to go out there and get your ass kicked tonight? That's more than fine by me. Let that be a lesson to you.
And that was it. You know, that same guy, Sam, that was the guy that Sammy Callahan was talking to last week when Sammy Callahan was when he went to Trey Miguel's training school and he beat the hell out of everybody. And that old guy, the old man, he beat him up and he beat up the rest of the students. And so Sam, the guy named Sam, he came in to try to stop Sammy Callahan, but Sammy Callahan had stopped him. And you know, Sammy Callahan tried to talk sense into him, like saying, "Yeah, you know, man, you don't need this. You don't need this. How about I take you under my wing?" And so, yeah, that was the same guy. And so, yeah, that word again, no passion. You know, Sammy Callahan is continuing to get under Trey Miguel's skin. You know, he's using Trey Miguel's close ones to get right back at Trey Miguel, which is a heel move from Sammy Callahan. And so yeah, right after that we had a video package from Moose and Rich Swann. They were hyping up their championship match. And yeah, that was it. And they were talking about Scott D'Amore and you know the huge announcement that he have later on tonight about the championship match between Moose and Rich Swann. And so yeah, that was later on tonight. And so right after this, we had a tag team match, which was probably one of the best matches on the show. And it was Rohit Raju and Shera versus Chris Sabin and James Storm. And so yeah, so before we started the match, we had everybody was making their entrance. We had Chris Sabin and James Storm. They made their entrance last, and so James Storm he had the beer in his hand, and then him and Shera, Storm and Shera, they were about to get into it because James Storm had poured beer all over Shera, and so yeah, they were about to get in. They were about to beat each other up before the match even started. And so yeah, so the match started. We had Sabin and Raju. They were using each other's speed against each other. They were using each other. They was using each other's athleticism against each other. And then we had Chris Sabin. He had a beautiful suplex to Raju. And then we had Storm and Shera. They were going back and forth with strikes. And we had a big boot to Storm from Shera. And then we had a double team move to Shera from Sabin and Storm. And we went to commercial break. And we came right back from commercial break. We had Raju. He had a cannonball to Sabin. Really, really impressive. Very, very impressive from Raju. The speed, like he ran across that ring like really, really, really fast, and just gave Sabin a cannonball in a corner. So yeah, I thought that was really, really, really impressive from Raju. And then we had a hot tag to James Storm. He took out everybody. And then Storm, he had a spine buster to Raju, a Triple H like spine buster to Raju. And then Sabin, he had a spinning DDT to Raju. And then we had a pump kick. We had a pump kick to Storm from Raju. And then at one point, this was a botch. At one point, we had James Storm. He had a sling blade to Shera. And so at that point, both teams, they were going back and forth. They were trying to, they were beating each other up. And then after that, we had Shera. We had Shera and Raju. They were arguing. They were arguing about something. But yeah, they were arguing. And then Sabin, he saw this. So Sabin, he hit a drop kick to Shera. So he drop kicked Shera into Raju. And then Sabin, he knocked Shera out of the ring. And then we had James Storm, he hit a backstabber to Raju. And then Chris Sabin hit his finishing move, the cradle shock to Raju to win the match. So that was it. So James Storm and Chris Sabin, they win the match. And that was a great tag team match. Probably one of the best matches on the show. The Ace Austin and the Chris Bay match was the match of the night. But this one right here, this match right here, this tag team match was probably will be second. And so yeah, right after this, we had a backstage segment. We had a backstage segment from XXXL. XXXL, that's Larry D and Acey Romero and Reno Scum. And so this is what happened.
What troubles you've been having. You couldn't get the job done against Decay at No Surrender, and you couldn't get the job done last week either. At least you still got your chivalry, because you wouldn't hit a woman.
Larry, let's get out of here. Come on, let's go. Oh yeah, look at this chivalry, just leaving it. Everyone had a woman. I had a crazy guy, a demon chick, whatever the hell this is. It doesn't matter, Reno Scum.
Oh, really? How exciting! Because we happen to be looking for a sacrifice this Saturday, if you're interested.
What do you think about that? I think I like that kind of party. You like that kind of party? I'll bring you a Reno Scum party. All three of you, come on. I'll pull that right out. See that? What a couple of freaks.
And that was it. That was it from Decay and XXXL and Reno Scum. XXXL, they left, and so Reno Scum, well, Decay, they challenged Reno Scum to a tag team match. So it's gonna be Reno Scum versus Decay. That's Crazy Steve and Black Taurus. And they added this match on Sacrifice. We found out later on tonight they added this match to Sacrifice. And so yeah, they added it on Sacrifice. I don't know why they added this match to Sacrifice instead of saving this match for next week's show on Impact. Like, dude, what? Like, only the elite get to compete on the pay-per-view. Not this stuff. Like, dude, it would have been better if they would have just saved this match for next week instead of just overloading this pay-per-view. Because the more you keep adding more matches that don't belong on the show, you're gonna overload the show, and you don't want to do that. You only put matches on a show on a pay-per-view that only belongs on a show, and that's the championship matches, and matches that's important. And this match right here, this match do not need to be on the Sacrifice pay-per-view. You could have saved it for next week. And so yeah, right after this, we had a backstage segment from Violent by Design. That's Eric Young, Diener, and Joe Doering. And so they picked up on what happened last week with Diener. And so yeah, Diener was accepting the consequences of his actions. So this is what happened.
I know that you're going to accept these consequences. This happened because of your failure. You see, externally and internally, we have to deal with everything with violence. Violence is the path. Violence is the only thing the disease understands.
What the hell is going on here?
Oh, James Storm and Chris Sabin interrupts.
Listen, guys, this doesn't concern you. This is family business.
Family business doesn't concern us. Wait, this is Impact Wrestling, right? You know, it might not concern us, but brother, you know as well as I do, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and you know what you're doing to this man right here is wrong. You know how it feels when you work so hard and you get so far and then someone snatches the rug right from out from under you. That's exactly what you're doing to this guy, and you know more than anybody how that feels.
Oh, Violent by Design, they attack Chris Sabin and James Storm.
Stay out of our business. Let's go. Let's go.
And so yeah, that was it. That was it from Violent by Design. And you know, picking up from what they did from last week with Diener. And then yeah, Chris Sabin and James Storm, they interrupted, and they ended up getting beat up for it. Ended up getting beat down for it. And so yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Violent by Design. I love that. I'm digging the cult group. I'm digging it. And so yeah, this is flashbacks. This is flashbacks with Eric Young, what he did with Sanity. It's kind of like that. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of this. Huge fan of the Violent by Design. I think they need to put Diener and Joe Doering together as a tag team. Put them as a tag team and spicing up this tag team division, because the tag team division at Impact, man, is lacking right now. And so if you put Doering and Diener together, that'll be good. That'll be a nice addition to the tag team division. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, we might be getting a match. No, ain't no might. We are getting a match. Getting a tag team match with Violent by Design versus Sabin and Storm, and they added it on Sacrifice. Still don't know why they added it on Sacrifice. Should have saved it for next week or the week after the next. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after this, we had a backstage segment. It was with the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers and Scott D'Amore. They're backstage, and this is what happened.
DeMore? Yeah. We need to talk.
Talk about these legal filings that your lawyer sent over?
Yeah. Mark Sterling sent those over. Did you have a chance to read through it all?
I've made it through the majority of it.
Okay, look, I'll save you some reading, okay? This is what you have to do. We can make this all go away, okay? Really? All you have to do is terminate Eddie Edwards' contract, all right?
That's it.
And while we're at it, we're going to erase him from the history books. Like, he was never even here in Impact Wrestling. It's as simple as that.
Boy, and if I'll do that, all this will go away?
Yeah, that's all I'm asking for. A safe work environment.
Let me teach you a lesson that I learned in a courtroom a long time ago. The more you have to argue, the less strong your case is. So look, if you want to push forward with this, we can go to court. That's no problem. I'm more than happy to go. That's kind of what we do. But you got a problem with Eddie Edwards, and that needs to be handled right now. So I'll tell you what, this Saturday at Sacrifice, you and Eddie Edwards can settle it once and for all in a, and you can run this by your lawyer. He's really good with legal terms and stuff. A hold harmless match.
A hold harmless
Argue with
match.
you there, but a traditional submission match? May the best man win? I kind of like that. You know,
So you're good with a hold harmless match?
if that's what you're saying, yeah, that sounds great. That's my thing. I'm the most professional wrestler. I can handle a submission match.
Great, because you should call your lawyer and have him explain what hold harmless means, because basically it's got nothing to do with submissions. It just means hold harmless means no rules. So you liked ECW, you liked Extreme, you like hardcore. Here we go. This Saturday, you guys one-on-one, and you can use whatever you want. Weapons, fight. You can kill each other for all I care. It's going to be great on Sacrifice, live on Impact Plus. I'm glad we had this talk. See you later. Thanks, man. I love the whole door thing. God, I can't stand a cluttered desk.
And that was it. That was it from that, from Brian Myers and Scott D'Amore. So apparently it's going to be a hold harmless match. That's a terrible name. Hold harmless match. So it's basically a no disqualification match. A no disqualification, no holds bars, no holds barred. That's what it is. But the name hold harmless match, that is a weak name, terrible name. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after this, we had a match. It was gonna be Trey Miguel versus his protege, the Sam guy that Trey Miguel was talking to earlier. And so yeah, first off, we had Sami Callihan. He came out, and he continued talking trash to Trey Miguel.
Train the person that the only thing you have
This is
done
what he said.
correct in your career is train the person that I'm about to bring out here. Because not only is he my new protege, he is one of the best wrestlers on the planet. He has something that
Say all
you
that.
lack, and that is passion. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one, the only, Sam Beale.
And yeah, that was it. So Sami Callihan, he introduced Trey Miguel's opponent, Sam Beale, who is Trey Miguel's protege, or his protege. And so yeah, and this is a squash match. It was a squash match. And so yeah, Miguel, earlier he told Sam that he didn't want to fight him. He didn't want to fight you. Like, I don't want to fight you. And so yeah, and Beale, he ended up attacking. He ended up attacking Miguel from behind, because Sami Callihan had distracted Trey Miguel, and so Beale, he attacked Trey Miguel from behind and stuff like that. And then Beale, he was like, "Yeah, you are gonna fight me. You are gonna fight me." And so yeah, and so right after that, Trey Miguel, he ended up fighting back, and he ended up locking in his submission move, that leg lock, a leg lock mixed with an arm lock submission move. I forget what he called it. So he locked in his submission move, and that was it. So Beale, he tapped out. So that means Trey Miguel, he won the match. And so yeah, right after the match, we had Sami Callihan. He was on the stage, and so Trey Miguel, he went right after Sami Callihan. He wanted to beat this dude up so bad. So he got out of the ring, went after Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan pulled his phone out, and he pressed the button on his phone, and he did his whole hacking shtick. He did that. And so Sami Callihan, he was in the ring. So the lights cut off, and then lights cut back on. Sami Callihan, he was in the ring. And so he had Sam Beale in the power driver position. And so he power drove Sam Beale through the mat, on the mat. He power driven him on the mat. And so yeah, right after that, we had Trey Miguel. Yeah, he ran into the ring to try to beat up Sami Callihan. And so Sami Callihan, he pulled out his phone again and pressed the button on his phone. And his whole hacking stuff, the lights shut off, and then Sami Callihan, he was gone, and that was it. And so yeah, that was it with that. They still prolonging this, the storyline between Trey Miguel and Sami Callihan. This match is not gonna be at Sacrifice. It's not gonna be at Sacrifice. It might be on the next pay-per-view, which I'm guessing Rebellion. And so yeah, that was it, man. I just can't wait for this match. Cannot wait for this match. And so yeah, right after this, we had a backstage segment, and it was from James Storm and Chris Sabin. And this is what happened.
Are you freaking kidding me, man? All the years we've known this guy? Huh?
Eric Young, you, myself, James Storm, we've known each other for 20 years. We worked our asses off building this place. And I don't know where the hell you went wrong. I don't know what you've become, but damn, man, you disgust me.
You know, like the old saying go, how do you kill a snake? You cut its head off. You see, Eric Young, you're the snake of the group. And if we got to go through your boys, if we got to go through your followers, that's exactly what we're going to do this Saturday night at Sacrifice, because we're coming for the snake and we're going to cut its head off. We're not coming out there to say Motor City. We're not coming out there to say sorry about your damn luck. We're coming out there to whoop your ass. Hey guys,
Oh,
I heard what happened.
Jake something.
I heard the challenge. And I've been there. I've been around the block with these guys. And I know you don't need my help in the ring. But Eric Young is going to be at ringside. You know that. So I want to be at ringside. I want to neutralize him. I want to have your back.
What do you think?
As long as you're a man of your word. I am. All right.
Don't let us down, brother.
And that was it. That was it with that. So it's gonna be Violent by Design. That's Joe Doering and Diener with Eric Young in their corner versus Chris Sabin and James Storm with Jake something in their corner. So would have much rather had this match scheduled for next week. So you'll give your viewers a reason why to watch Impact next week. Save this match to next week. But no, they want to overload this show. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had the AEW paid ad. The AEW will have their paid ad every single week. And so yeah, they were promoting AEW Dynamite. They were talking about Revolution and the result from Revolution. And they talked about that exploding barbed wire death match, which the ending was a disappointment, but the match itself was great. Tony Khan, he said that Kenny Omega couldn't build a exploding ring or something like that. And he talked about Christian Cage, saying that Christian Cage, he will speak tomorrow night on AEW Dynamite. And so, yeah, that was it. That was it with the paid ad. They promoted the matches and stuff like that. Matt Jackson versus Phoenix tomorrow. And that was it. And so right after this, we had the contract signing with the Impact World Tag Team Championships on the line. And so it was the Good Brothers, who are the Impact Tag Team Champions. That's Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson. And FinJuice, representing New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's David Finlay and Juice Robinson. And so, yeah, they were backstage, and they were about to sign a contract. And, they were drinking, too. They had alcohol involved. And so, yeah, Scott D'Amore, he was moderating the whole thing. So this is what happened.
Ignite, but I wanted to take care of this right now because the entire wrestling world is waiting for this World Tag Team title match. New Japan versus Impact. Right. Boys, all we got to do, sign this contract, make it official, and let's make history.
You know what? What? I'm really looking forward to putting these two little mizzles in their place, Big LG.
Oh,
showing them exactly who the Good Brothers are.
Games are right here. Just give this a single.
Well, I think we should probably drink to that. Yeah, we're drinking.
Whoa. You guys know the rules. If one drinks, we all drink.
Well, excuse a brother. Let's get it going, huh? Guys, your names are right here. You just sign this.
Foster, this one drink, brother. This one drink.
One drink. Oh, hey, guys, I've been down this road once or twice with you. I know how this ends. Here's the paperwork. I got a busy night. Sign it and then get it back to me. And good luck to both teams this Saturday at Sacrifice. And guys, just remember, no matter how much you drink, sign the contract. Gallows, you can get it back to me. You want to be an office guy.
Of course, I already am. We don't need luck.
We're both office guys, Scott. That's true. Well, now that the office is gone, let's take some shots, boys.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, you guys learning how to work a little.
I love that.
Okay.
Young misses.
Huh? Yeah. Learn how to work, little marks.
shot bourbon whiskey available at TNSmania.com.
That's a shoot sell.
That sure is.
That's a shoot sell.
You
Whoa,
okay,
whoa,
brother?
whoa, 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 whoa.
One?
Only one shot, and you want to sign?
This is an
Only
amateur
one shot?
hour?
What is this? Widow Weeks? Are we into
It's
Widow
not the
Weeks?
Widow Weeks or the amateur hour.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is this Widow Weeks for
guys,
little boys? Huh? You into Widow Weeks?
We're not in the Widow Weeks.
What? You want a second shot?
Bring it on, sweet
You think I'm afraid of
boy.
drinking? I'm a Finlay. Come on, pour me another one.
That's true.
Let's have round two, boys.
Make it big.
Well, you know that.
Double me up. I'm a big man.
You're a big old hoot, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, big old dumb hoot.
Yep. I'm already hammered from that talking shop whiskey. Hello.
Yeah, drink another one.
Round two, boys, huh? Cheers. Teaching the kids how to work.
Oh, God, I wish you'd stop saying that. Oh, that's a Kurt Hennig.
Okay. Sign it. Now we sign.
Whoa.
Oh.
We only doing two?
Third time's the charm, right?
Excuse me.
Are we having a measuring contest? Please.
This one right here.
Yeah, I love this.
Oh, you want me to pour?
I guess
This,
you're a Finlay
this
for
is
the
the
shot.
contract signed shot.
All right.
We got a buzz to catch.
You want to go for number 3, do you?
Yeah.
Third time's the charm.
That's not
boys.
Irish whiskey. Double me up.
All right, there you go.
Pour it up. More.
There you go.
A little more for the boys.
I know you like it strong.
Moto,
There you
moto,
go,
moto.
boy. There you go.
Sign
Pour
that
me
bad
a
boy,
nice,
Gallows.
nice
We'll
big
sign this
one.
thing. We'll sign this thing.
Let's go ahead and get it going here.
Yeah, get it up there. Get up there.
So Gallows signed the contract.
Are screwed.
Anderson signed the contract.
I need that pen.
Finlay signs the contract.
Bring a pen to a contract signing.
And finally, Robinson signs the contract.
I'm feeling the burn a little bit. There we go, brother. Sign.
That was it.
Burn it on.
They drink.
Yeah, come pie. Come
We
pie,
thought-
baby.
Well, Gallows and Anderson drunk. Oh. Finjuice poured alcohol in Gallows and Anderson's face. And the fight broke out. And that was it. So, yeah, Finjuice ended up splashing the alcohol in Gallows and Anderson's face. And so a fight had broke out between those two. And that was it. That was it with that. So at Sacrifice is going to be for the tag team titles, Impact World Tag Team titles, the Good Brothers versus Finjuice. I'm going with the Good Brothers to win. And so right after this was a match. And it was Ace Austin with Madman Fulton in his corner versus Chris Bay, which is probably the best match on the show. And so yeah, first off, the reason why this match was made was because, you know, Madman Fulton last week, costed Chris Bay a win. It was a win. I think it was from, what was it, a triple threat match last week or something like that? It was a match, and the winner of that match would have gone on to face TJP for the X Division Championship. And so yeah, Ace Austin, he ended up getting a win. Yeah, it was a triple threat match. It was Black Taurus, Ace Austin, and Chris Bay. And so whoever won that match would have gone on to face TJP at Sacrifice. And so Ace Austin, he won because of Madman Fulton. And so Chris Bay, last week, he went to the Swingers Palace and he challenged Ace Austin to a match. And, you know, he was saying, you know, you can't beat me. You can't beat me. The only reason why you beat me was because of Madman Fulton. And so, yeah, that's why the match was made. And so, yeah, we started the match. We had Ace Austin. He rolled out of the ring, went under the ring, grabbed the chair, and he sat the chair down, and he told Madman Fulton to sit down in the chair. And so Madman Fulton, he sat down the entire match because he did not want Madman Fulton getting involved. So he wanted to prove Chris Bay, hey, like, man, I can beat you. I could beat you without Madman Fulton. And so so Fulton sat down, and so we started the match. They were going back and forth with technician moves. We had a double underhook suplex to Bay. He kicked out. We had a sliding drop kick to Austin. And then Bay, he followed up with a tope con hilo to Austin. And then at that point, Bay, he was taunting Madman Fulton. He was trying to get Madman Fulton involved in the match. Like he wanted Fulton to punch him in his face. And then we had Austin ended up taking back control. He had a jumping twisting moonsault over the top rope on Bay outside the ring. And we had a springboard enziguri kick to Bay. He kicked out of that. And then we had Bay. He had a code red to Austin, and he kicked out of that. We had knee strike to Bay. And then we had a springboard senton to Chris Bay, and he kicked out. And then at that point, we had Austin. He grabbed his card, his ace card, or whatever you want to call it, his ace card. I think that it was. And he tried to go for his finishing move. Bay moved out of the way. And at that point, they were both countering each other, counter after counter after counter, using their speed against each other. And we had a spinning kick to Bay on a top rope. So Bay, he was going for a top rope move, and we had Austin hit a spinning kick on Bay. And at that point, they were both fighting at the top of the rope. And then they both fell off the top rope outside the ring. And then we went to commercial break. Came back from commercial break. They were going back and forth with strikes. And then we had a corkscrew kick to Chris Bay. And then a top rope leg drop to Bay. He kicked out. And then we had a top rope clothesline to Austin. And then Chris Bay, he had the vertebraker to Ace Austin. And then Austin, he kicked out of that. And so Bay was upset. Like, dude, like what? Like how is it that that wasn't 3? The vertebrae is the most dangerous move in professional wrestling. How is it that I didn't win? And so yeah, and then we had Bay hit the apron DDT, similar to what Johnny Gargano does in NXT with the one final beat. So yeah, he hit that on Austin, but Bay does not go for the cover. He does not go for the cover, which was a mistake. And so instead, he went for his finishing move, that springboard cutter. But Ace Austin, he rolled out of the way. He rolled outside the ring. And so, yeah. And so Madman Fulton, he was guarding Ace Austin. He was guarding him, like trying to protect him, stopping Chris Bay to get, from getting to Ace Austin. And so, yeah. And at that point, we had, Ace Austin, he ended up fighting back. He brought Chris Bay back into the ring. And then we had TJP, he showed up. He brought a chair out, and he showed up, and he sat in the chair. And so that distracted Ace Austin. And so Madman Fulton, he saw TJP, and he grabbed the chair, and he started walking at the TJP. Like, and then TJP, he just left. He grabbed the chair, and he just left. Like, he was like, I already know how this stuff's gonna end. And so he just left. And so, yeah. And so, yeah. So Austin, he was distracted. And so Chris Bay, he hit Austin with a cutter. And he followed it up with his springboard cutter. I forgot what he called it. The ultimate finesser or something like that. No, that's his nickname. I forget what he called his finishing move. But he hit the springboard cutter to Austin to win the match. And that was it. Great match. The best match on the show was this match. This match should have main evented the show. It should have been the last match that we saw before the big announcement. And so yeah, so Ace Austin, he lost. Ace Austin is the #1 contender for the X Division Championship, and he lost. Does that mean that we still haven't gotten any confirmation? Chris Bay should be added to this match. Chris Bay should be added to this match for the X Division Championship because he beat the #1 contender. But they didn't do anything. They didn't add him to the match. So I did not understand that. But yeah. So yeah, just like champions should never lose, #1 contenders shouldn't lose either. #1 contenders should not lose either. But Ace Austin, he lost. So that means Chris Bay, put Chris Bay in the match. Put Chris Bay in the X Division Championship match. Cause he beat the #1 contender. And so yeah, man, that was it, man. That was it with that. One of the best matches on the show, man, was this match. The back and forth that these two went through, man. And so, yeah, man, that was it with that. And so right after this was the Swingers Palace. The Swingers Palace, which is growing on me now. The Swingers Palace. At first, I wasn't a fan of it, but it's starting to grow on me, though. The Swingers Palace. And so, yeah, that was it with that. So, yeah, the Swinger Palace.
Ultimate finesser would have pulled that off, huh?
Josh Alexander shows up.
You having fun, TJ? Yeah, I am having fun. I'll give you a little bit of advice.
okay? You have the X Division Championship on a poker table right now, but you have a title defense coming up Saturday Night Sacrifice.
Yeah, against the guy who just lost.
And you had nothing to do with it.
Well, bets are a lot easier when you rig the game, you know. But I will say this. I did beat you. Pretty sure I could beat him. The odds seem to be in my favor.
I got the Gazette, Daddy.
And I did beat him. So no matter how this plays out Saturday at Sacrifice, don't worry. I'm in this for the X Division Championship, and I'll be waiting.
And that was it with that. So Josh Alexander, he wants a championship match. Whoever walks out at Sacrifice the X Division champion, Josh Alexander says that he's next. And so I don't understand. I don't understand why Josh Alexander is getting another shot when he already had a shot at TJP. He lost. He had his opportunity. First off, he won a triple threat revolver at, what was it? No Surrender. He won it at No Surrender, right? He won the triple threat revolver at No Surrender, which gave him an opportunity to challenge TJP for the X Division Championship match. He got his championship match, but he lost. So Josh Alexander, he should not be getting another title shot. He lost. So get in the back of the line like everybody else. And so, yeah, man, that was it. That was it. Josh Alexander, he should not be getting another title shot when he lost already. Like, it's somebody else's time. It's somebody else's time to get a title shot. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so, right after this, we had Rohit, Raju, and Shera backstage. And so, this is what happened.
Hey! What happened tonight, huh? What happened? I had that match won, and you cost me the match again, just like at No Surrender. My X Division Championship belt, I had that, and you cost me that too. I brought you back from India to watch my back, and this is what I get? Huh?
I don't owe you anything. Do you understand?
And that was it. That was it with that. So, oh my God. Will we be getting a match out of them, these two? So we might be getting Shera versus Raju. The way that he said, "Do you understand me?" It was so funny, man. So yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after this we had a match, and this was actually the last match. And so it was ODB versus Susan, and I did not, just like the start of the show, the Tasha Steelz versus the Jazz match. Just like how I said earlier, that match never should have happened. This match never should have happened either, man. This match should have never been on the show. I didn't even care about the match. Did not care about the match. Don't even know why it happened. Match should have been off the show. And you should have just took this match off the show and just saved the extra time for the big announcement that Scott D'Amore promised us. And so yeah, it was ODB versus Susan. No Kimberly, no Deonna Purrazzo, because Susan said that she wanted to do this alone. And so yeah, we started off the match. We had chops to Susan, and then ODB, she did a Bronco Buster to Susan, and then she followed that up with a fallaway slam. And then at one point we had Susan, she hit a low blow to ODB. Like what? That's like that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Really, it's not gonna work. I don't know what in the world are you accomplishing by hitting a low blow on ODB or any. I'm gonna just leave it at that, man. Didn't make any sense to do that move. And so yeah, we had ODB. She hit her finishing move, the chest press to Susan, and then Susan she kicked out. And then Susan, she locked in a full Nelson and a sleeper hold to ODB. ODB, she fought out of it. And then at one point, we had Susan. She grabbed ODB's alcohol. And then she poured the alcohol out. She poured it out outside the ring. And then, ODB, she's upset. She's mad. And then she had a TKO to Susan to win the match. So that was it. So ODB, she wins the match. And so right after the match, ODB, she was celebrating, and we had Kimberly and Deonna Purrazzo. They attacked ODB, and then they were ganging up on ODB, and then Jordynne Grace and Jazz, they came out to help ODB, and then we had Fire and Flavor. That's the Impact Knockouts Tag Champions. That's Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan. They came out and they attacked Grace. They beat up Grace, Jazz, and ODB. And so so Fire and Flavor and Kimberly and Deonna Purrazzo and Susan, they were teaming up against Grace and Jazz and ODB. And so that was it. And so the heels, they stood tall, and they were holding their championships up in the air. Fire and Flavor, they were holding their tag team titles in the air. Deonna Purrazzo was holding up her Impact Knockouts championship in the air, and that was it. And the rest of the heels, they were celebrating together. And yeah, that was it with that. Did not care about this match. Did not care about this match. And so yeah, but what I did care about was the big announcement. That's what I cared about, was the announcement. And so this is what happened in the announcement. So yeah, first off, we had Moose. So yeah, Moose, he was outside the ring. He was to the ring, and he called out Scott D'Amore. He was like, "Scott, get out here right now." And so yes, Moose was waiting, and then Scott D'Amore came out. He introduced Rich Swann. And so what I did like about this is that Rich Swann, he did not come out dancing. He did not come out dancing, which I love, because you have a championship match. You have a championship match against Moose. And so which is probably the biggest match. It's going to be the main event of that show. So you should not be coming out dancing. So I love the fact that he did not come out and dance. And so yeah, this is what happened in the segment. Oh. All right, here we go.
Title has a long lineage and it has great history, and you picking it up in a prop locker, I don't know, but I don't think that makes you a world's champion. But as I said a couple of weeks ago, fine. Because now this Saturday, we're going to settle this once and for all. 2 world champions is one too many. And Moose, I'm sick and tired of you walking around claiming something you haven't earned. So this Saturday at Sacrifice, the Impact World's Championship won't be the only one on the line, because the TNA World's Heavyweight Championship will be on the line in a world title unification match.
Yeah.
Winner take all.
Oh, wow, D'Lo.
That is huge.
Yes.
That is huge.
Whoa, there have been a handful.
Hey guys. Rich, nobody loves a little posturing better than me. But there's a little something that I almost forgot. And that's whichever one of you gentlemen walks out this Saturday as the Unified World's Champion, your work's not done. You both know a champion can never stop, can never give up. And the winner of Saturday's match at Sacrifice, the Unified Impact World's Champion, will be in the main event of Rebellion, live on pay-per-view April 24th. And that night is not just any pay-per-view. That night is not just any main event. But that night, one of you 2 men is going to be a part of history. Because that night, whichever one of you walks out of Sacrifice is going to be in another match, title versus the AEW World Champion, Kenny Omega. Whoa. Yeah, I know you didn't like what he did here.
Kenny Omega.
You want a shot, and you want to prove you're the best. So, gentlemen, one of you is going to get that shot. Let's decide that this Saturday at Sacrifice.
Impact Wrestling has just broken the internet. This Saturday night, these 2 athletes will be a part of history, but then the exodus truly begins. Because it's just a tick over 40 days and 40 nights until April 24th at Rebellion, where Kenny Omega awaits.
And so yeah, right after this, man, we had a Don Callis. And so yeah, Don Callis, he had just heard about the announcement about the winner going against Kenny Omega. And so this is what he said about it.
Yeah, Kenny. I just saw it. Now it's done. Just like we planned.
Just like we planned. And that was the end. That was the end of the show, man. To end off the show, bro. So This Saturday is Sacrifice. It's gonna be Moose versus Rich Swann, title for title, whoever for the TNA World Championship and the Impact World Championship in a unification match. And whoever wins that match is going against Kenny Omega. Will be in the main event at Rebellion on April 24th, and they'll be fighting the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega in a title for title match. That's freaking awesome, dude. Freaking awesome, man. I'm gonna go with my gut, dude. Moose is gonna win. Moose is gonna beat Rich Swann at Sacrifice this Saturday, and Moose is gonna be the Impact World Champion. He's gonna be the champion. He's gonna be the champions of champions. He's gonna have the TNA World Championship and the Impact World Championship. But here's the problem, though. He's going against Kenny Omega. He's going against Kenny Omega. Kenny by God Omega. AEW World Champion Kenny Omega. At Rebellion. A guy that's doing the best work right now, Kenny Omega. Right now, man, at Rebellion, I don't think it's gonna be good. I don't think it's gonna be good for Moose. Because there is no way in hell Kenny Omega is losing. He is losing to nobody. Kenny Omega is losing to nobody. So yeah, that's why I say it's not going to be good for Moose, because he's going to lose to Kenny Omega. Whoever walks out a Sacrifice, they losing. They are losing to Kenny Omega. There is no way that Kenny Omega is losing to Impact guys. No way. And so yeah, Moose, he's going to win the titles at Sacrifice. He's going to fight Kenny Omega at Rebellion. And Kenny Omega, he's going to hold all the titles. He's going to hold... I don't know if they're going to make a new championship. I don't know if they're going to make a new world championship for Impact or not. But I'll keep both titles. I'll keep both titles. Don't make a new championship. Keep the TNA World Championship and keep the Impact World Championship. And have two of the champions have two titles. Have the two titles and make it the World Championship. And so that way, when Kenny Omega wins the championships, he'll have three titles. He'll have the AEW World Championship, like wrapped around his waist. He'll have the TNA World Championship right here and the Impact World Championship right here. So Kenny Omega, he's going to be coming out with three titles on Dynamite. And so, yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, that Forbidden Door, man, the Forbidden Door is already open. It is all the way open, dude. And, dude, you know, I don't mind. We need more Impact. We need more Impact stars showing up in AEW, man. If that's gonna be the case, because if Kenny Omega is holding the Impact World Championship, the Impact guy's gonna have to show up. They will have to show up on AEW. Dude, can you imagine Moose? Can you imagine a Moose showing up on AEW Dynamite, dude? Can you imagine that? Moose showing up on AEW Dynamite. Dude, oh my God, dude. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. But yeah, man, that was the big news, man. The big news for Impact Wrestling tonight. The winner of the championship match, the winner of the championship match with Moose and Rich Swann on Sacrifice this Saturday will be going up one-on-one against Kenny Omega, and it's a title for title match. So the winner will be the AEW World Champion and the Impact World Champion. So yeah, man, that was it, man. That was it with Impact Wrestling. Very good show. Very good show, man. Good show, man. And so yeah, man, that was it. I cannot wait, man. I just cannot wait to see what happens next with the relationship, the partnership. Just can't wait. And so yeah, man, that was it with the show. And if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you be the first ones to know when my next video will come out. And yeah, because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. You click on that bell for all notifications so you don't miss out. And yeah, man. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. The aftermath of AEW Revolution. So that should be a good show, a stacked show, a newsworthy show on tomorrow. You know, because of what happened on Revolution. So yeah, that's tomorrow on Wednesday. But yeah, man, that was it, man. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. Comment down below. Tell me how you felt about this episode of Impact Wrestling. And yeah, man. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video with each and every single person that you come across on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, man. And if you missed last week's review of Impact Wrestling, video is going to be right up here. Video is going to be right up here. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Stay safe, take care, and that's that.